So hey Carb Dodgers, what's up? Today we're going to make some nice low carb French fries. So one of those little treats that you kind of miss when you're doing low carb or LCHF. So let's get into it. Okay, low carb French fries, let's go. So what we'll need is 2 to 3 teaspoons of xanthan gum. That's this stuff here, super sticky if you get it on your fingers, so beware. We need 50 grams of coconut flour and 1/3 cup of shredded cheese. So I'm using mozzarella here. You can pretty much use any cheese you like. You're also going to need 100 ml of boiling water. So it's all super simple. You just grab a little mixing bowl. Add all the dried ingredients. And the cheese. Give it a bit of a swizz around. Then add your boiling water. Okay, I'll get a fork for this. The xanthan gum really does stick to your fingers, so this initial bit I like to just use a fork to get it mixing until we get a nice dough forming. And then in with the fingers to give it a bit of a knead. Okay, so what you're looking at is something a little bit like Play-Doh, but kind of sticky to the touch. Beautiful. So next stage is to pop that into the fridge to cool down. And the reason we do that is to let it firm up so it's easier to cut and to work with. Okay, this step isn't entirely necessary, but it keeps things a lot cleaner, so I like to cut. There we go, that way. A good healthy length of baking paper or parchment paper or whatever you call it where you're from. And that stops the dough from sticking and also makes it a lot easier to work with. Okay, I've given that 10, maybe 15 minutes to chill. So we've got a little bit firmer ball of dough. And so what I do is just slap that on. Baking paper, double that over. Grab the old mother-in-law's revenge. And flatten that out to about 5 mil, or I'm not sure what that is in American, something of an inch. A little bit more. There we go, nearly 60 years old. I'm making cooking videos on YouTube. Where did it all go wrong? So there's our raw French fry mix. What you can do now is take a knife, or in this case I've got a pizza cutter, and then just cut strips. And just cut strips into the dough for the length of fries that you want to end up with. Okay, now they are a little bit fiddly to handle, but mark my words, it's worth it in the end. There we go, so I come straight through the middle and make sure I can pick them up fine. That's working. I think the longer you leave it, the stickier they get, so you might want to work a little bit quickly in this phase. Next, you're going to need a frying pan. For the purposes of this exercise, I will use this little electric jobby. So now what we're going to need is some oil. Now olive oil, if you've got beef tallow or lard, that's even better. That will pop, and you need a fair old amount, because we're kind of shallow frying them, so we need plenty of oil, and it will take up a little bit of this, so the more you can add in, the better. So what I'll typically do now is just drop a little bit of the mix in to the oil and then wait to see it bubbling, which is doing almost straight away. Okay, that's looking more like it. So we'll get some of these bad boys in there. So what we're looking for is a nice golden finish. So it doesn't take very long at all, as you can see. Not quite done. Okay, and try and keep them separate because they will stick together if you're not careful. Okay, that's just about there. So now I'll just put them out onto some kitchen roll to drain off. If I was using beef tallow for this, I wouldn't bother because that's even more of a bonus. Okay, I'll finish the rest of these. So there we have it, a little lifesaver if you're trying to stay off the carbs. A pretty passable French fry or chip if you're in England or Australia. What I certainly like to do is get a bit of vinegar on there. You can see you all wincing at the screen. Not to worry, they are sensational. So there we have it. I've been Alan, Carb Survivor. You can follow along for more recipes on YouTube on the app Carb Survivor. Please do like and subscribe and do all that stuff they say you should say, or don't, doesn't really matter, but it would be great if you follow along. Okay, Carb Dodgers, thanks very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.